Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of my webcast, Fall to Rise. I'm your host, James Brown, and tonight, we have a very interesting yet controversial episode. It's one that I've been waiting to put together for quite a while, and sometimes your perfect guest just falls into your lap. And my guest tonight is Mr. Jim McDowell, and tonight's topic is I'm a Black Donald Trump supporter. I know that for some people, they're going to be a bit surprised to hear that there are Black Donald Trump supporters, but there are. And I honestly think that we should hear their side of the story too. Instead of dehumanizing them or forming opinions about them, we should understand why they feel how they feel. We may be able to learn something from each other tonight, and that's really my goal. Now, before we start, there's a few ground rules that I have to lay, just because, whenever we talk politics or religion, it can get a little spirited. My first one is if anyone's on, please mute your phones. If you have a comment or question, we will have a Q&A at the end. So please don't burst through with a question or comment. Once we open it up for Q&A, respect is a big thing. So I would have to insist that we have no name calling tonight, no disrespecting of each other. Again, Mr. McDowell is our guest tonight. Well, you're all our guests, but we have to be respectful of each other tonight. Again, the goal is to hopefully listen, learn. If you disagree, it's all right, but listen, and let's have a good time tonight. I'm really, really excited and, nervous, but in a good way. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my guest, Mr. Jim McDowell.
My brother, James Brown. I thank you so much for having me. And you're right. This fell into your lap. I fell into your lap, brother, but our spirits met.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation about politics. And you said that's interesting. And you said, ask me, would I like to express that? And I thought about it. I wasn't eager to express it. As I tell you, I'm seeing from family, friends, Facebook family, and others, being a Black Trump supporter is almost like coming out the closet in the 70s.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm coming out the closet. And I had been said I had to do it, brother. I had to do it. You were sent through Universal Forces to be in front of me. So I said, this is my opportunity to speak. Did I want to? Absolutely not. But I was told I had to share this. So I'm here. I'm here to take it, the good and the bad. My skin is thick, so I'm here, my brother. I hope it's a good show. I hope I can learn from everyone else, and I hope they can learn something from me. I don't know. These are my opinions. So I will try to give you as much fact as I can, but please don't fact check me. I'm here representing myself and my ideas. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm an expert at that. So my brother, I thank you once again for having me. I truly do. You have an awesome show.
Well, thank you.
You're sharp, brother. You're very intelligent.
Thank you.
So I feel that I'm in very good hands with you. So let's let it rock. Carry me, and when I fall, pick me back up. That's all.
Boy, you give me some big shoes to fill tonight.
Well, you can handle it, my brother.
What's so ironic about this whole situation
is
what's so ironic is the first time that we actually met, it was at a food pantry. You live out of the country currently, and you came back and helped us out at a food pantry in one of the poorest parts of Jersey City. That's actually how we met. And then the second time that we met, the day that you actually told me that you were a Trump supporter, we were at a book bag drive in Jersey City, giving out book bags and food to kids, mostly children of color, from these poor neighborhoods. And, when you told me that you were a Trump supporter, I said, you're not what I expect. You're definitely not what I expect.
I absolutely agree.
You're breaking.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get to the number one question that's on everybody's mind.
Uh-oh.
How can you be Black and a Trump supporter?
Am I back?
You're back. Yeah. Let's get to the question. This is the question everybody's been asking me. How can you be a Black man or a Black person in general and support Donald Trump?
Very good question. I hate Well,
Sure.
I'll answer it in a couple of ways. How can the audience, you, be black and be a Democratic supporter? I'll say like this. Let me explain. Let me explain a little
Okay.
bit. That's a good question. And I ask the same thing of my brothers and sisters. How can you be a Democratic supporter after all of these years, and we're here still supporting them? So I don't answer it with just that. I will just say he has two things I will name, in this interview, a few that pique my interest and also support my interests. So
Okay.
I don't vote along party lines. I vote along interest lines. So he has done some things that has support my interest. So with that said, can I say I want 100% Donald Porter? Absolutely not.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely not.
You cut out.
Because
What
I
did
am
you
a
say?
black. Okay, can I say am I 100% Donald Trump supporter? Absolutely not. If it comes to Joe Biden or Donald Trump, I'm absolutely Donald Trump supporter. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Yes.
Okay, we have a little delay, but I'll continue. So I say, how can, not you, euphorically you, be a black man after all these years what the Democrats have done and not done with us? How can you still support them? So just sitting here watching him, I wanted to hate him. I wanted to hate him. But he's did some things that made me rethink it. And I'm like, Trump, stop it, please. He didn't do much. Does he support black people? Absolutely not. I would never say that. But he has done some things that piqued my interest. So I just looked a little further into him and saw other things. So that's why I'm a Donald Trump supporter.
What things did he
I
do
hope that answered.
what things did he do that piqued your interest?
I didn't do my fact checking and all my homework because you know how we just put this together, and I came on. So I'll just, as we speak, I'll ramble off more. But I mean, first when he first came into office, when he first came, I believe it might have been the first or second month, he signed a bill that was getting ready to run out. It was a bill that was getting ready to run out for about 350 million, 250 million for the historical black colleges and universities. He signed it into a bill. So that was the first thing that piqued me. And I spoke with a lot of people in regards to that, and they said, oh, he's doing what every president should. And I said, no, I deal with common sense. I'm straight common sense. If it goes through that common sense meter with me, then it's good. Other than that, I don't deal in my beliefs, what I grew up as, who I belong to. I don't deal in that. So a lot of people want to say he had to do it. He didn't have to do that. If he's that racist, if he's as bad as we say he is, he did not have to sign that bill. That was for historical black colleges and universities. That was the first thing that Pete say, okay, let me watch this, man. Do you need a couple more?
Yeah, please.
Because that may take us down a rabbit hole.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, what he's doing with pedophilia.
Okay.
His attorney general, they're going after pedophilia very aggressively, very aggressively. Now, was he involved in that? No, but he's going after it. And if he's a skunk, he wouldn't care about the children. He wouldn't care about them at all. So he's going aggressive. I've never seen the Democrats go after pedophilia the way he's going after pedophilia. So that's one thing. And I guess what sealed the deal. There's a couple other smaller things that he's done. These are my interests. This is what I'm saying. I do not support him completely as a human being. You do things that support my interests.
Okay.
Then you make me look. Democrats did nothing at all. They have nothing for us. They promise us nothing. So this is why with Trump. And the final thing, let me go into this. I don't want to dig down this rabbit hole. What he's doing doing with the pandemic, brother, I got to call it how I see it. What he's doing with the pandemic, I like his stance. I know that's not popular with anyone, but I like his stance because there's something going on in the world. There's definitely something going on in America.
So
if we don't know Babylon is falling,
so
that's not a conspiracy theory.
so do you
mhm.
think that the virus is fake, or that it's not as bad as people are saying it is?
No and yes. The virus is not
Okay.
fake by no means. The virus is real. Okay.
Okay.
If we can call it a virus, because they're starting to call it a bacteria now. That operates totally different than a virus. So they're playing games with this. It's a virus. It's a bacteria. And do I think it's killing as many people as they're saying? Absolutely not. I don't need Trump for this. Absolutely not. And how he's handling that, he's telling you to get out the house, to go back to work before the complete economy completely collapse. That is great. But people say, oh, well, what about your life? I believe 90% of the people, or more than 95, not probably 95% of the people that get this will get over it, period. I believe more people are dying from the flu and pneumonia, 10 times more. I mean, the numbers back that up. Not my belief, the numbers back that up. So absolutely, do I believe it's as bad as they're saying? No. And I tell you one of my reasons that had me look into them a little deeper. When I heard one of the medical examiners, I don't know if it was from Georgia, what state, but it was two of them that said this. They said, if you die in our hospitals and we test you after death and you have corona, that is a corona death. We do not care what you died of. It could be a gunshot wound. It could be a car accident. Your head could have been decapitated. But if we test you and you have corona, that is a corona death. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. That opened me up more to listen to what Trump was saying. That's fact. That's fact. Medical examiners, this is how they are calling deaths on corona. Don't matter what if they had told you would die from natural AIDS in 5, that's why so many people are in the senior citizen homes. Like they said, a lot of them were going to die anyway. But corona, yes, it will affect them. They're older. But it don't matter what you die of. If you are tested after death, they're saying you are a corona death. So why are they fudging the numbers?
Well,
So this made me listen to Trump a little. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Well, I have a bit of
Right.
a question with that because I actually kind of delved into this a little bit. One of the things that Donald Trump actually said was that people should try to ingest bleach and not wear masks. And a lot of the people that have gone by not wearing masks are catching this virus. Now, this virus is an airborne pathogen. So whenever you have an airborne pathogen, it's spread through droplets. So covering your mouth will stop the droplets from spreading. I think that a lot of his views are based on opinion and not necessarily the science that backs it up. Whenever you try to present him with facts, he, in my opinion, he goes with opinion. And I think that that's one of his biggest flaws. And I think that more people are going to die and have died because of him, because they're not doing the research on the facts. They're not looking into how this virus is spread. He's literally made things up about it, going back, contradicted himself, and then said that he never said it. That's, to me, that's dangerous. So I don't know that I necessarily trust someone who says that he does not read and
Right. Mm-hmm.
who does not have a clear understanding of how basic viruses are spread. If you know anything about airborne viruses, kind of the way that you described the flu, one of the ways to do that is to prevent the spread of droplets. This is spread through droplets. So even if we go with that logic, he would still be incorrect by saying don't wear a mask, because you're still spreading it. And even if you say that 95% of the people recover, that doesn't mean that there aren't still residual effects. I know of people that have passed away from it. I know of someone that had it, and he's still feeling the effects of it 40 days later. He still has respiratory issues from it 40 days later after he allegedly recovered. So I think that it's irresponsible of Donald Trump to give false information based on his opinion instead of listening to experts on this.
Okay, I completely agree with you. And can I support him going back and forth with lies? Absolutely not. Like I say, I can't say I support this man as a human being, but we're having a conversation on politics. He's there, biting his neck, trying to get there. So if I can't support neither one of them as a human being. So I can't back Trump as a human being. So I can't speak on that. But some things he are doing, if it's by mistake, he's backing into it. I sort of like. Yes, the virus. You say droplets. I mean,
Yes.
maybe we're talking about mist. Can it truly protect us? The mask, or is there definitive evidence saying that the mask truly protects you? I know people who wore masks, body suits, and they got it. So, organization, what if it's a bacteria as well? Or what if it's a bacteria, period? What are we dealing with now? I mean, this is the CDC and
You're breaking up.
the World Health Organization. So I'm breaking up. Yeah.
No, you're back. You're back.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. I say this. Like I said, the CDC changed their mind, or it may be a bacteria that operates a little different. Why are we wearing masks now if it's bacteria? The World Health Organization is saying this. It may be a bacteria. They're saying that it lasts on surfaces for 3 days. Now they're changing, said it may only be 3 hours. There's something else going on, brother. There's something else big going on. They're lying about the numbers of corona deaths. And listen, my heart goes out to everyone who's lost someone. I've lost someone, a friend, that they said had corona, but I knew he had other conditions. And I'm still wondering what they really did to him in the hospital, because they take you in these hospitals, can't have family, can't have cell phone, can't have anything. So I really don't know what happened. And worst of all, the numbers. Let's say we're dealing with a police department, and as they call a great detective, a scumbag who's locked up a lot of black men for drug charges, could be anything.
Who are
If
you
they
talking
go
about?
through his files and found that he lied about, no, I'm just talking about, I'm using the police force. I'm just using anything just to compare to the numbers of the corona, and reason why I throw most of those deaths out. My heart goes out to every family or anyone who's lost anyone. So I don't take it lightly. I love my people. I hate that it's here, but I'm tired of the lies on top of lies. So if we're dealing with a police force and a Mark Furman, okay, all the black bodies he done put behind bars, okay? We find out he lied on 2 of those cases, his drug cases, okay? What are we doing with the rest of the cases? They go out, correct?
Okay.
Everyone goes back home. So I say this with corona. If the health examiners of the states are telling me that no matter what you die, and I have a stepson that works in a hospital in Florida. He had a gunshot victim come in there and die from gunshot. And he said they marked his death as corona. So I would say if we would throw out every evidence that the cop has used to prosecute a lot of these black men on false charges, if we throw out because of 2, why would I trust the numbers with corona? If they lie about 1, that's a blatant lie. When someone has died of gunshot and you test them after they have died and say they died of corona, that's a lie. That's a lie. So I have to throw out and not trust none of your evidence, like we would do on the police force. If the detective's caught with 2 lies on a case, you throw out all evidence. Everybody else goes free as well. So why don't we do it here? They're lying to us. They said this on television. We don't care what you die of. If you die and you're tested and you have corona, they were saying that George died of corona. I lied to you not. They were saying George Floyd died of corona because he was tested. I believe they listed, I'm not going to say, I believe they listed as corona death. So our eyes lied to us. I'm not going to go into that. That's a rabbit hole.
Now, with that
no, Trump is, go ahead.
With that logic, we all know that Donald Trump has a history of not telling the truth. I think that we can both agree on that. He has a history of not telling the truth, going back and contradicting himself.
Yes, Democrats as well.
Yeah, but just for him right now. So you say that the CDC has a history of not telling the truth, so that's why you don't trust him. So my question is, if you're saying that the CDC has a history of lying about this, but we've also agreed that Donald Trump has a history of lying about most things, why trust his word more than those that are scientists or doctors or medical professionals?
Great question. Great question. Like I said, just keep me on track because I have time. I have tendencies to go off in different directions. Now, that's a great question because we discussed, and I told you one thing I had a great appreciation for. I had a great appreciation. I traveled a lot when I was young in the South. I worked down there. Okay. Independent contract, always in sales. Okay. I'm always independent. And one thing I noticed I had a reluctantly great appreciation for was blatant racism. That was refreshing to me. It was truly refreshing. After growing up North New Jersey in the North with racism, the hidden racism, the friend racism, when I started traveling the South, I enjoyed them. I knew where I stood with them. They knew where they stood with me. And I hung out with more whites in the South than I ever did in the North because I can deal with a straight person. One thing, Donald Trump lies a lot, but there's something straight about him. He ran on a lot of things that had nothing to do with us. But one thing I appreciate he did do, he tried to do every one of those things he ran on. I've never seen any politician that tried to do everything that they ran on. So even though I don't appreciate what he stands for, and the propaganda he pushed to his base, I cannot support him on that. I'm a black man in America. No way can I support him on that. However, let me say this. I came on here with a heavy heart because
You froze. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. Jim's actually overseas right now, and he's actually joining us from overseas. So, Jim?
I wanted to say something.
Hang on, we'll have a Q&A at the end.
Okay.
Jim? I think we may have lost Jim for a couple of moments. He's probably trying to get his Wi-Fi back. But folks, this is an interesting conversation that we're having, even whether we agree or disagree. It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You're back, yeah, Jim. We got you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let me continue. Like I said, I came on with a heavy heart, but I still have to express my stance. It's ridiculous that we lost another one. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I'm not in the country, so sentiment with me, I'm hurt. But I still had to come on. And with Trump, yes, he has told many of lies, but like I say, it's something I like about a straight racist. Is he a racist? Yes, he is, because if you're in office and you're dealing with a system that indoctrinates racism, you're at the head, you're a racist. Has he done it in some of his tests? So we're hurting as a people. We all are hurting. So I know many want to attack me, but I'm here to share my pain because we're both sitting here discussing which racist we're going to vote for. How sick is that? How sick is a sad day for all of us, my brother. I can't speak for your audience or you, but in my heart, my people, how sick is it that we are here today debating which racist is the best? So I have to go with the person, both of them tell lies. I have to go with the person, as I say, I hung out with many more white people in the South because they were straight shooters. You knew where you stood. I like that. The Democrats are snakes. They are snakes. They are the uncle that sends us to college but raped us when we were kids. So they are snakes. And I have to go with what's real. Something I feel, like I said, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you mean by they raped us in terms of Democrats? What did Democrats do that raped us?
That's
Sure.
sort of metaphor.
Sure,
That's
Sean
sort
said.
of metaphor. I thought it was good as a kid coming up in Hayes Home projects. I thought it was good as a kid. Oh, we getting food stamps, got housing, this and that. Oh, okay, they're gonna give us more housing, but Daddy got to leave. You know, I thought they gave us so much. They gave us Planned Parenthood. Wow, that's good. A woman has a choice. You know, but more black kids were murdered up on the Planned Parenthood than we ever could put on gang members. So everybody need to check themselves on that before you want to blame gang members for depopulating us. It was Planned Parenthood that did it. So these are Democrats. They give you things in disguise. Okay. Let me jump here since we're here, brother. We're just gonna run it as we go. Okay.
Sure.
I will put this on the Democrats. What did they give us? I'll go back to King. Okay, Dr. Martin Luther King. Great man, meant well. Meant well. I truly believe that King got his marching orders from the Democrats. We know this is true. Okay, he got his marching orders to integrate. Integrate. That's the name of the game. Integrate. Your people will come up when you integrate. That was the worst thing that ever happened to foundational Black America. The worst thing that ever could have happened was integration. And King, towards the end of his life, he knew this. He said in that last speech, I'm afraid I integrated my people in a burning house. Yes, he knew it. Just a yearly income for Black people and poor. And they wanted the Democrats to back off that. Back off that, King. Let's keep integrating. Keep integrating. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, what integration did at people, but it was the worst thing that happened. But King said, no, I integrated my people into a burning house, and he was trying to undo it.
Okay, well, there's a couple of
And
things
all
I
of
want
a
to.
sudden, economically and
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'll let you finish your point, but there's a couple of things that I wanted to unpack there, but I'll let you finish your point.
Okay, no, it's just anytime we're trying to economically empower ourselves, they tell us, don't do it. We'll give you something for it. Just relax. Stay at home.
Okay.
We'll give you a $2,000 a month check, what they're talking. Go ahead, brother. Keep me on track because
I'm sorry.
I don't want to veer off on you.
No, I'm sorry, but there's a couple of things that I kind of want to unpack. A lot of the reasons that a lot of people of color were on a lot of these social programs wasn't necessarily due to faults of their own. If we want to go back, I'm going to take it back to the 60s right now, to around the time of Vietnam. If you take a look at Vietnam, a lot of poor Black and brown Americans were sent to Vietnam. They went to Vietnam, came back with drug addictions or post-traumatic stress disorder. So those people who are coming back with that drug addiction, that post-traumatic stress disorder, they can't take care of their families. Those women that are having to take care of their single families because their husbands are at war, they need these social programs to survive. So that's why a lot of people of color were on these social programs coming in the 60s. Then we skip ahead to the 80s. Let's take a look at the crack era. The crack era did a number on the Black community, and the Black community needed these social programs to pull ourselves out of them. And if you think about it, which administration started the Vietnam War? That was in a Republican administration. And if you think about the crack era, Ronald Reagan himself admitted that members of his cabinet actually helped to flood Black neighborhoods with crack cocaine. So he himself admitted, again, I'm not trying to steer from one side or the other. They both have faults. And I'm not trying to say that one doesn't have faults, but I feel that when Republicans say that Black people are too reliant on these programs, I think that we sometimes forget that they at times put us in situations where we need these programs. You know, if you think about it, the heroin epidemic came after the Vietnam War. That's when it got really, really big. A war that we really didn't need to go to, but they continued it. And again, a lot of us came back with these drug problems. So there was no fix in between. So we needed those social services. And that's one thing that Democrats have come up with. Now, there are people that abuse the system. I'm pretty sure that we all know those types of people. There are those that abuse them, but to go one direction to say that the Democrats have done it to make us all lazy, I see it differently. I see it different. I don't think that they've done it to make it all lazy. I think that in certain cases, not in all, again, I'm not really for one party or the other. Democrats tended to be people from poorer neighborhoods. They tended to be the minorities, so they understand the benefits of these programs. So that's why I tend to think that they push these programs more. Now, conservatives tend to be a bit more wealthy. They tend to be more business savvy. They tend to be more business owners. So that's why they don't understand the point of Social Security. They see people that are on welfare as, okay, well, you're just lazy, because oftentimes they themselves haven't had to be in a situation where they have to worry about their next meal, or they have to worry about how they're going to pay their next month's bills. So I think that that's I'm going to say an issue with conservatives, and that's something that I don't think that they always understand. Again, I do agree with you in that certain people do abuse the system. 100%. There are people that abuse it. I'm pretty sure we all know people that have. But I don't think that these programs were necessarily put in place to make us lazy or to make us reliant on the system.
Let me say this, brother. Well said. I agree with everything you said. And I hope I didn't come off wrong.
No.
You understand? I was a recipient of this. My mother was. Okay? So I believe we definitely needed this. But the Democrats do make us dependent on them. They do. We become their stepchild with all their programs. I go back to King once again with the Democrats. That was their big thing, integration. Integration was the worst thing that happened to foundational Black Americans. My opinion. With in fact, I could have case study. It doesn't mean Dr. King. Believe me, they were the force behind him. My thing is, I am not Republican. I am not Republican. Do I support some of their interests? Yes, I could cherry pick. But the thing is, the social programs, yes, we needed them. But I say this, let's undo integration. Let's undo integration, okay? Do we need the social programs? My whole thing, I asked my mother as a kid, Mom, they don't want us on their bus? You know, they didn't want us on their bus. Is that the whole problem why we had to march and all? No, they didn't want us on the bus. We had to show them economically we can shut them down by not riding a bus. And my question was, why don't we get our own bus? Why are we forcing our way on their bus? Why don't we buy one bus and we all ride that every stop in the city, and we build up enough money and get another bus, and then we have our own bus company? Why are we forcing our way in their restaurants? I don't like their food anyway. So why don't we have our own restaurant? Then we don't have to force our way. So I say Democrats. The problem with Democrats, we can stay with King. They can't integrate, not teach him this. Those around him were very astute with money. They taught King, do not tell your people a thing about owning a hot dog truck, much less a bus. So Democrat, I don't depend on either one of them. I'm not registered with either one of them. I support Trump. I'm not a registered Republican. But the thing was, it's always been, this is America. We're a capitalist system. It's about economic empowerment. They were teaching us to go march when we should have been out there putting our money together.
I agree.
Economics buy you power. Economics buy you politicians. Economics buy you community. They told them, no, integrate. Democrats, they were with King. Integrate. That was the worst thing that ever happened. So that is my gripe in my old age now with the Democrats. I can go back to King, and I will continue on today the way I feel what I feel. But like I say, it was all about economic empowerment. They didn't teach King that. They didn't lead King that way, and they did lead him. They didn't tell him, teach your people how to buy their own bus, their own restaurants. We always do better when Republicans are in office. Spiritually, mentally, we are on code because we know the Republicans aren't us jack. So we come together. With Trump, we really came together. Black folk are on code like I've never seen in my lifetime. So I love Trump being there for my people. because they're on code now. So, and sort of a default way, he's good for black people because we get on code. The Democrats told us to, and I'm not going to keep hammering that point. They told us to integrate. That was the start of the worst thing that could happen to us. It's about economic empowerment. It's not about integration. We did it. So I'll move on with the Democrats. I'll bring it up to today why I have a problem with them.
I'll get to that.
I mean, do you want to go that direction?
I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I definitely want to hear what you have to say on that. But my question is, what do you think that Donald Trump's going to do for black people? I mean, we talk about how the Democrats are holding us back. What do you think that Donald Trump's going to do to advance us? Because personally, I'm not sure how fond he is of black people or how fond he is of helping black people. So what is it that you can see that Donald Trump is offering that's going to advance Black America or the world?
I'm asking you a question, brother, but I just have to say this first. What are the Democrats going to do? What are the Democrats going to do? Okay. We both kind of blank on that answer, correct? Donald Trump, like I said, from certain things he has done from signing the bill, there's a couple other things, but I can go up to this pandemic. Certain things he has done that kept it real with us. I'm just, for lack of a better word, man, I come from the streets, college educated, all that good stuff, but I love real, so I point out what he can do? Well, what I can say this, by default, he got us on code. He got us working together. So, I mean, if nothing else, we're closer together because of him. But coming to today, I just like how he's, for the lack of a better word, like how he's handling the pandemic. Truly, he's telling us to come out of our house and go back to work because they are liars. They called this pandemic. They shut the planet down. So we have to wonder why they're shutting the planet down economically. The pneumonia is 10 times worse, brother, 10 times worse. We never shut the planet down with pneumonia. You have to ask yourself, what's really going on here? So Trump shutting the CDC down because the same people that we fund, the World Health Organization and the CDC, Bill Gates is funding them too.
All right, so
yeah, thank you.
All right, hang on 1 second.
And he's Democrat and eugenics, big people.
You broke up. What'd you say? You broke up.
No, I just said the same organization that he defunded, the World Health, who calls, they're the only body organization that can call a pandemic. They can call a pandemic, okay, to shut the planet down. And Trump said he don't deal with them anymore. I agree. If you know anything about the head of the world, take us down the rabbit hole. But I'm just saying certain things he do. I agree with him. Shut the World Health, leave the World Health Organization alone. We would still be in the house if it was up to them. We would still be in the house. I don't want to be in a house. I don't want to be trapped in mass. If I catch it, I catch it. So be it. If I die, I die. I doubt if I will die. I truly. So I don't want to lose my point, but I don't know if I answered your question, bro. But like I said, he keeps it real. Democrats not going to do nothing for us. They're going to they're not even telling us lies anymore. I didn't even watch the convention, but for the little bits I heard, they're not even lying to us anymore. They say they're going to do anything. They're not even saying the words Black America. They're so, and answer the question, keep saying what are Democrats going to do, but it's because of the Democrats that I'm supporting Trump. A lot of why I'm doing is not Trump. He has done some things that piqued my interest and he kept it real because of the Democrats' game and lies is why, that's 70% of the reason why I'm supporting Trump. Because of Biden, okay? He said with integration, he don't want his kids to be a part of that. It's something about being in the jungle. That was Biden words, okay? And Kamala Harris, please don't get me on her. I mean, she put more black men away in California as Attorney General. I don't even want to get on her track record. So, but even that aside, okay? And his 1994 crime bill, he did us brothers in, you know, he did us in. But not even to get into that, they're not even lying to us anymore. They're not saying they're going to give us anything. So what is Trump promising us? Nothing. What are Democrats promising us? Nothing. As Biden said, and I was through with him after this. Through. You're not black
again.
if you don't. How arrogant of you. I'm
can you re-say that you froze
again?
Don't
vote Democratic.
You froze again. Can you go back and say what you were saying?
Okay, am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, no, it was with Biden. We're completely done it and pushing me to Trump. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Was Biden the only one scared to integrate with the jungle? Us, okay? And his 1994 crime bill, he said he wouldn't change, even to this day. He's saying he wouldn't change a thing. That did us in, that crime bill, okay?
All right, well, do you think
what
that,
did
what
it
about
for me and Biden? How dare you have the idea on television? Who the hell is he?
Well, I think that what you were saying,
Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that you were referring to the time when he said if you vote for Trump, you ain't black, which is something I completely disagree with. I actually I did an entire show about it. But again, I have to look back at what Donald Trump has done. I look back at the Central Park Five. I look back at the fact that he called for them to be executed, for them to bring back the death penalty for teenagers. And even when it's been proven that they were innocent, he refuses to apologize. He still feels that he was right in saying that. So he actually, you may be saying that Biden put a lot of black men in jail, which again, I'm not a fan of the 1994 crime bill, which by the way passed with bipartisan support. Joe Biden may have co-sponsored it, but it was actually the Republicans and the Democrats that passed it. It wasn't just Joe Biden. It wasn't just the Democrats. It was passed by both parties. But I take a look at a lot of the things, racist things that that Donald Trump has said in his past and present. It makes me kind of wonder. It's actually two prongs. It makes me nervous for the future because even if you say that he's an upfront racist, he's emboldening people that may have been closeted racist to come out and do more aggressive things that they hadn't done in the past. So whenever you're hearing
right
about a lot of people that are doing these mass shootings because they're big Trump supporters. Again, this isn't to say all of them, not at all. But I feel that he's at the least irresponsible with his words because you're saying that he's strong, he's real, but there's something called tact. Tact is very important. If you have influence, you have to be very careful with what you say. Because if let's just say I have 100,000 people leading me, and I would have said, you know what? You all should drink poison. And 100,000 people drink poison, and I say, oh, well, they're dumb. They shouldn't have done that. Your words matter, and I think that he's made some statements that are dangerous. So, for instance, when he said that people should drink bleach, certain people actually did it. When he's saying things like calling Colin Kaepernick a son of a bitch, when he's saying that the police shouldn't be gentle when they're handcuffing people and throwing them in the backs of cars, if you pay attention to what's happening now, he's emboldening them. So I think that no matter what your opinion is of Joe Biden, I think that even if you don't like Trump, I think that even if you don't like Biden, I feel that Trump also skirts that same line. I feel that Trump also makes certain statements that I believe make things worse for black people at certain times, where some people may say, hey, you know what? Oh, he's just he's privileged, or he doesn't understand what he's saying. But I think when you're the president, you should. And you say that Joe Biden has said, okay, you ain't black. I agree. I hated that statement. I thought that it was an ignorant statement. I hated when he went after Anita Hill. I disagreed with both of those statements. But I feel that, for one, I don't think that Donald Trump will have our interest in mind. And with someone who's as vindictive as he is, I feel that if Black America didn't vote for him, he may go after Black America. He's actually said in the past, someone asked him, do you think that a Muslim judge can give you a fair trial? He said no. And they asked him, is it because they're Muslim? He said yes. So I think that some of his racist tendencies, I think, can affect Black people. And then you also take a look at the people that he puts around him. I think that he puts certain racists around him that at times can influence him to make these bad decisions. So, not to get too off. I'm going to allow you to respond.
I hear you, brother. I'm
going to allow you to respond. But
yeah, it's cool.
One question. I know that you support him. You say about 70%, and you don't support Joe Biden. Is there anything that Donald Trump can do right now that will make him lose your vote?
Well, I have to be honest. I can't say at this moment he has my vote. That's first. You asked me, did I support him? Absolutely. I am.
Okay.
I can't say he has my vote at this moment. It is very difficult to pull the lever. You can support someone, but pulling the lever is different. But I have to stand by what I believe. So if I am in America at the time and I am able to vote, back in the country and I can vote, if I have a choice, I'm going to pull that lever for him without a problem. But the vote may not happen. I have to be honest. I support him because of certain things he did. The racist rhetoric, I cannot support. I cannot support at all. And when we're talking about the brothers of Central Park, he was not a politician. He was a citizen saying that. Biden did things as a politician. He put bills across, doing racist bills. Trump did racist talk as a citizen. So I can't judge any of that. But let's go back to Central Park. I don't know. I read, but I'm not going to, you can fact check if you want. Trump said a lot about our brothers in Central Park. It was disgusting. I hated him for it then at the time. Hated him for it. But that's a Democratic city. Who prosecuted the hell out of them boys? Were those Democrats? I think
I'm not
so.
sure.
Trump was
know
a citizen.
The Attorney General
okay,
was.
I think so, but those were Democrats. Okay, those were Democrats. So we got to be careful. Trump, is he racist? Yes, he is. Biden is too. So like I said, we all are sick here, debating over races. I will admit I am. I won't speak for everyone. But I say in most of the major cities that we're seeing all of this. A lot of these are Democratic states and Democratic prosecutors that put the brothers away hardcore. So we're hearing the citizens Trump at the time mouthing off, but who's prosecuting the hell out of them? These are prosecuting the hell out of us. Kamala in California, she prosecuted the hell out of brothers in California. Well, Biden's bill prosecuted the hell. So they put across racist policies. Trump, I understand. Let me say this. Let's say Trump. Trump is playing the game, baby. Politics is a game. There's no love in politics. And we're all looking for a leader. Listen, if you were dumb enough to drink bleach, you should die. You should. And I will say that. If you are dumb enough to follow anyone and drink bleach, you should have died. So don't blame that on Trump. Don't blame that on Trump. And we got to stop as Black people looking for a leader. We're looking for everybody to lead us. My God, all we need to do. But let me go to the story. Do I have time? Because I can drift. Do I have time?
If it's going to be quick.
Just speak.
If it's going to be quick, go ahead.
I'm good.
If it's going to be quick, sure.
Okay. Okay. But let's go back here. I don't know what you can. go back to Prohibition. That's when the Jew, the Italian, Irish, they made niggers. Okay? What did they do? They took it and said, okay, cool. So the KKK, the Democratic KKK, formed by the Democrats formed KKK. They were in power. They did not want them here. They called them niggers. So they said the only way we can get them back out of the country is shut down their brewery. Shut down their economic sustained power. And we know what happened. Prohibition. They went underground a million times more money they could have doing it legally. What
You broken up again.
they start doing? They start buying special prosecutors. I'm that.
You broke up again. I think you froze.
Am I back?
You're back, yeah. Jim?
Okay, let me try to. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes. Hello?
You can.
I
Okay,
can hear
let
you
me
now,
just finish the story real quick, and I'm making a point with this.
Sure.
What they did, they went. Okay.
I think we may have lost it. He'll be back on in a couple of seconds. He probably lost the signal. Like I said, everyone, he's overseas, so he's kind of chiming in. You know, I see the chat's been very, very active, to say the least. It's been very active. We're definitely going to have a Q&A at the end. Again, I cannot stress enough, it must be respectful. I must insist that we have no name calling, no disrespecting, no going after him, trying to demean. And, you know, it's going to be reciprocal. He won't do the same with you either. If any of that goes on, I'm going to have to cut people's mics. I don't want to do that. I want us to have a respectful conversation. Even if we disagree, I want us to all definitely have a respectful conversation. Yeah, it looks like he lost the signal, so he'll be back on in a second. Jim?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we got you back.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got me?
We got you. We got you.
Yeah, so I apologize. I'm out of the internet is very poor here. But let me try to finish real quick if you still can hear me.
Yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I
Okay,
can,
bro.
yes.
All right, let me
yes.
finish real quick. And I'll show you how I'm bringing this. I'll show you how I'm bringing this back to us. What the
Sure.
Jew, Italian, and Irish did, they went underground. They made their money. They bought their special prosecutors. Stay out of jail. I don't condone the murder and shooting. So no, I don't. But that was gangster. But the thing was, they start buying politicians with that money that they got. They start buying communities with that money they got. They work together. They're in different cultures. They came together and worked together. And they start buying communities. They start buying politicians. Then they were able to go after the KKK because they were strong.
Okay.
How did they do this? Get that through economics by you. I bring this back to my people. We sit up here and want to march and looking for leaders. Okay? We want to march when they call us nigger. They called them niggers and they were white. They called them niggers. They didn't cry. They went out and got that money and built their communities, built their banks. That's how effective change through economics. He's raised. He don't. We got to pull in the street. We got to pull our funds together, our energies together, and pull ourselves up out of this. Not dependent. I just, like I said, I just use them because I want to march on everything.
Mm-hmm. So is it safe
Get your
to say
money
that you
together, make change. Money by politicians.
So is it safe to say that you support Trump more for an economic reason than anything?
Say, I mean, there's so many things, and getting back to Trump, I could say his views on abortion. Okay, I'm kind of in kin to him because he said in special circumstances. He's not as hard line as the Republicans because many are babies, woman's right. That's what they did to our sisters. They were murdering black babies, murdering. We're the only race who went back in the birth rate. Only race of people went backwards in the birth rate. And yeah, you can't blame all that on gang members. Can't blame that. Okay, Planned Parenthood was there, and what was her name? Singer, I can't remember her name, but she was known to practice eugenics, depopulation. How the hell is she giving us abortions? So him being against abortion, I am. I'm not taking your right to choose. I'm not telling you what to do with your body, but I know what it did to our race here in America. So it was a game. It was a game. A lot of black babies got murdered. So it was a game. So yes, it's probably more economics that I support Trump. Okay.
Okay. So it's more.
So
Okay.
I hope I didn't go too far down. Yeah.
No, we're
it
fine.
Truly
All
is.
right. So
it truly is.
okay. So the question that I asked you is if there's anything that Trump can do to make him lose your vote. Is there anything that Joe Biden can do to make you gain his vote?
It's the Democrats I have a problem with. I mean, he's just a screw up. The stuff he said, I'm turned off from him. Period. Kamala Harris, completely stuff she has done personally as Attorney General in California. It's nothing they can do. They put too many black men away. Too many black men away.
So if the Democrats were to say that they would give reparations, that they would give land, that they would give all people of color scholarships, that wouldn't be enough for you to vote for a conservative. You're non-supportive of them is that strong?
That would have been cool if they'd lied to us and told us that. They didn't even lie to us. They can't even lie to us. You know why? Because they can't say our name. They can't say our name. They cannot say Black America. They dare not say Black America. You think they're going to say reparation? If they did say that, reparation, my opinion and my small bit of facts, if they did, we would know they're lying. I know they're lying to us. I don't trust them at all. Do I trust Trump? Absolutely not. But we are getting some benefits from certain things he's doing. He's not doing them for us. Keep telling us to go out of the house, signing that bill to give the black colleges and university money. So, I mean, he's doing certain things. But when we talk about reparation, my little bit of fact says that it would be a lie. Reparations, what they had a bill to study reparation. That's what they put across, a bill. During election time, they put in a bill to study reparation. Who in the hell need to study reparations? We all know what happened to us. What are you studying for? They didn't study to give us $3 trillion and all their people, all their bankers, but you got to study reparations? They passed a bill. No, you should pass a bill, give reparations, period. So they would be lying. But reparations, what I'm not sure of, I will say this. We got to be very careful with reparations. Whoever's promised, they're not promising us anything. They got it in the air, so we feel good that we're talking about it. We're being played again. We feel good. Reparations, they speak that word. They won't say Black American, I'll tell you that. But reparation, we have to be careful because my understanding, they have given Japan, the Indians, they've given a lot of people money, reparation money, for a nation, for the world court. You have got to be a nation state. This is why we will never get reparation, because we're not a nation. But I've spoken with some people, and it's pretty bad. You have a Black, foundational Black American. We don't have a nation state. So they can't negotiate reparations with us. The Philippines they gave money to. They gave money to a lot of people, but they have a nation state. So we will be lied to by anyone saying that they will give us reparations. It's in the air. It's bull crap. They're doing a study to get us happy. Oh, they're talking reparation. They will never give it to us. And I always say this, not to go off the top right now, whether you know it or not. And with this $3 trillion, $6 trillion they're pumping out now, it's completely worthless. The dollar will be dead soon. Okay, if you understand a little bit about economics and dollar, I mean to your audience, it will be dead soon. So they may give us reparation, and the day they give us reparation, that dollar will fall off the planet to zero, and they will blame it on us. So I want some kind of economic empowerment programs, but they play so many games. I can't trust either of them, Trump or the Democrats. But my thing is with Trump, like I said, it could be more economics with Trump and his realness, but I don't like being played with. I do not like being played with. If you're racist, be straight up with me. Like I bit my life personally. I tell you another story just so people can understand me. And I'm a couple out, white couple out, showed them about 5 cars, took hours with them. Okay, they weren't very forthcoming with me, but when we got back to the store, we liked this car, took them back in the office. I'm down in Georgia. And I said, great, we're going to do this deal. And he told me, he said, Jim, I want to tell you something. I like you. I know you from up north because you don't play no games. I don't play no games. I got to be honest with you. I'm in the KKK. I said, well, it's interesting. Well, it explains why you weren't very forthcoming and talking a lot in the car on the test drive. I said, cool. I'm with the Black Panthers. So we cool. We both, I'm pro-black, you pro-white. We cool. Let's continue with this sale. So he said, I like that. And my thing is, he continued business, okay? And then he told me, he stopped me again. He said, well, Jim, I tell you what, I like you. I have a young white kid to get in on his cell. So they're asking me to share my cell. I did all of this work. And asking me to share my cell with a white kid just because he was white. Took after my. Can you hear me?
A little bit better.
You can hear me?
Yeah, a little bit better. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So the story is, I went in the bathroom, thought about it. This guy is asking me to give half of my cell to this kid only because he's white. What am I going to do? I went back in the office and brought the young white kid in with me and told him, we have a deal. We have a deal. What can I do? Go in the bathroom like most of us Black Americans like to do and say, oh, he's racist. I'm not giving up my cell. I would have lost the whole cell. So I said he was straight with me. I appreciate that. So come in, young white boy, and get part of this money. I got half of the deal. But my point is, I didn't let him being so much that they don't like us. They called us niggas. Get that money. Get that money. At the end of the day, once you have the money, we can buy politicians and put who we want there. Once we have money, we can build communities. Once we have money, we can have our own buses, our own restaurants. So and like I said, with Trump, I'm not a Republican. It's just that his neglect of us is making us get off our ass and come together. The Democrats, they promise us so much of this with the Democrats. King wasn't on his. They don't tell you that. They said, nah, King, we like you as a dreamer. Don't talk money. So we still following the dream, bro. We sleep. They put us to sleep. Trump is saying, I ain't giving y'all nothing. Get up off yours. So all I'm saying, bro, I'm not speaking vicariously anyone else. My life experience, I've dealt with business with. I didn't step aside. I man where I stand. I'm here to get this money. If I had to bring a young white kid on, I did it. So we got to step for leaders. Trump is not going to do it for us, by no means. But if I have a choice, I'm sitting here sick, mentally sick like the rest of us, choosing between two races. If I had a choice, I got to go with the real racist. So that's life experience.
Okay.
Continue, my brother. I'm sorry. I had to
Okay,
share.
well,
That's
we're
just
a
who
little
I
bit
am, why I have the point of views I have.
It's all right. We're a little bit behind, so we're going to kind of speed it up a little bit. I know that you're not a Democrat.
Sure.
What are your views on Barack Obama and what he's done for the Black community? I think you froze again. Hoping we didn't lose him again. Again, for the folks that are just coming on, Jim's
Am I
actually
there?
coming in from overseas. Yeah, Jim, we got you back.
Okay. No, I did freeze. It was more of a mental freeze right there when you asked me that question, because I don't think much of Obama at all. At all. At all. Nothing. First of all,
Okay, you froze again.
I will say this. Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Hello. Okay. I don't think he did much. You and I spoke about this. Anything for foundational Black America. Nothing. So I think nothing of him. Nothing at all.
Well, what do you think of the My Brother's Keeper
And I
program?
will go into further detail, but if you want to.
What do you think of the My Brother's Keeper program that actually did a lot to help Black Americans? It did a lot for mentorship and provided funding for a lot of foundations in urban neighborhoods. That was one of his signature proposals. So what do you think of that policy?
Well, was that geared towards foundation?
It was, because it's actually started working with the youth.
Black America, or was that for minority? Who else did it help?
It was
Okay.
helping.
So we're talking minorities, correct? It was a minority program?
Yes.
Okay. I have a problem with that, period. And so let me go into finishing off the grass. Obama, he did absolutely nothing. Different. We have a different.
Froze again.
And unique situation being there.
Yeah, good.
Am I back?
Yes.
Let's put the rest to this minority. I'm not a minority, okay? And this is how they played with us for years, and Obama did the same by giving things to minorities, okay? What did he do for foundational, or if you want to call descendants of slaves, Black descendants of slaves in America? He did nothing. He didn't even utter the word. So that's why Obama, I think nothing of him. It was a good, feel-good moment. We had a Black president. What does that mean? He was not elected. He was selected. He wasn't put there by us. He was supposed to be put there. His agenda. So let me go further with Obama real quick. What he did and his administration. He did nothing for foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves. Nothing. He's not a foundational Black American. Okay, he's not. So he don't understand our experience, and he did not help it. I didn't think he would. The other thing he did, and the Democrats do, they give minority programs to everyone. So we are the last that get the funds, minority, because it's, and let me further that with Obama. I will say this, what King did, King meant well, but they killed him before he could tell you that I want to economically empower my people. King don't talk that, so they killed him. Okay? So King knew he had integrated his people into a burning house. His words. So King integrated us into a burning house, and Obama came along and locked the door behind us. That's what I think of Obama. He locked the door behind the burning house that King led us into. Those are King words. And the reason why I say that, Obama has made us into a permanent underclass. Permanent. Obama, what did he do? Oh, he couldn't do anything. Obama had the executive order power, and he used it. Who did he use it for? LGBT, okay? Immigrants, Latinos, women. He did a lot for them, a lot. LGBT, I think they got 3 laws passed. So what happened and why I have a problem with that? I have no problem with gay, none at all. So you won't trap me, not you, euphorically you, no one will trap me into that. Have no problem. But what it did to foundational Black American, now they are considered what? They considered minorities, the LGBT, the immigrants, all of them are minorities. So right now, the reason why I say he put us in the permanent underclass, they are above us, LGBT. They are. Black man, if you want anything, you want any money, you can't come as a heterosexual black man. But if you're LGBT, you can get some. You're protected under that. Black woman, don't come as a black woman. Don't bring your family. But if you want something, come as LGBT or Women's Lib or the Me Too. You understand? They're asking us to, if you want anything, because these groups are above us now, if you want anything, identify first with these groups. Don't identify as being black first.
So
identify with these groups.
My question is, I see that you have your gripes with President Obama. What will Donald Trump do that will benefit us? Because you're saying that Barack Obama put us back. What is it that Donald Trump is going to do that's going to help us? I haven't seen Donald Trump say anything that's really going to help Black America. You say that he signed that bill for historically Black colleges. Actually, Barack Obama signed it before him.
Okay.
Donald Trump signed it because it expired. So, well, I think that he continued the program because he wanted to be reelected.
He didn't have to.
He wants to be reelected. I don't think Donald Trump cared enough. I think that he said, you know what? I have to sign this because if I don't, I'm not getting reelected. So I think that it was a political decision because Donald Trump has said on numerous occasions, for instance, whenever he describes Black people, he describes their intelligence more than anything. So I don't think that he's necessarily that fond of Black people. I think that he kind of reminds me of one of those old guys that's racist that doesn't know that he's racist. I genuinely believe that. I understand that you may have gripes with the Democratic Party, but I don't think that Donald Trump's going to help us either. To be honest with you, I don't think that he's going to put us in a better position either. So, one thing that Donald Trump is doing is, even if we just take out race, he's cutting taxes. Some of those taxes that we use actually go toward grants, go toward loans that would allow people of color or Black people to open up those businesses, to buy their own property, to get that economic foothold that we need. So cutting taxes isn't going to help that. If Donald Trump really wanted to help Black people, why not put him on the same platform that we put Barack Obama on? Why does he come out and say, you know what, I'm going to come up with a program specifically for Black people that's going to give Black people economic capital? Now, if I don't expect him to do that because Donald Trump's he's not the president of Black America. The same way that Barack Obama wasn't the president of Black America. But I'm not knocking anyone that votes for Trump. I'm not. I'm genuinely not. It's just everyone's prerogative. Everyone has their reason. As you said, it's completely economic. But economically, I don't see anything based on the policies that he has put forth so far that will have a major benefit for Black America. Because again, the only one that we've mentioned that will benefit Black America is the HBCU program, which is a continuation of a program that has been passed by 3 presidents before him. It's not like he's put out any new legislation that I think would benefit Black America. So, it's hard to really say that he's doing more to help us.
Prison reform.
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I'm not saying he's going to do anything. By default of him being in the presidency, we are getting on code. I love that because we know he's not going to do anything for us. It's not tough love. He's a tough racist. Biden is caring racists. I have to, cause that is, they're 70% of the reason why I support Trump is because of Biden and the Democrat.
Well, can I just drop a couple of quick
So I
things?
mean, Trump is not doing on it. Good. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. When you say that Trump did prison reform, I'm not sure that that's actually a law yet, as opposed to him just letting a few black people go. But one thing that is a law that Barack Obama passed was he changed the way that we process crack cocaine. We know that there was a difference where if you were charged with the same amount of crack that you were charged for cocaine, you did more time, which disproportionately affected black people. And he actually changed that law. And when you change that law, that actually affected black people. So black people were being sent to prison for less time than they were before. That's an actual law that was written. So that's something that benefited black people.
Okay.
Again, the My Brother's Keeper program, that benefited black people. The Affordable Care Act, that benefited black people, because if you think about the health problems that a lot of black people have, a lot of black people have health issues that would have been known as pre-existing conditions where they wouldn't have been able to get health insurance. So with the Affordable Care Act, whether you agree with the individual mandate or not, one of the things that he put on there was that he now allowed black people who have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, they can now get health insurance. Granted, and if you think about something that his wife did the Let's Move program, which got people to be more active and to eat healthier, which would then take people off of Social Security, which would take them off of welfare, which would take them off of having to be on charity care because they're less likely to get sick. So these are things that I think that he did for Black America. But you have Donald Trump on the other side, who I think encourages I think he encourages people to be irresponsible. I think that he lies a lot. And again, I'm not completely enthused with Joe Biden myself. I'm really not. But I think that he would put people around him that would do more to help Black America and support Black Americans in a position to help themselves. So again, those policies that I named, they allow Black people to help themselves. This generation of Black people, especially Black women, is the most educated generation of Black women ever. And this is within the past 10 years during Barack Obama's administration. So that's something that's helping Black people. If you think about the median income of Black people, you know, he likes to talk about the jobs, that he's done more for Black people than anyone else in terms of jobs. They were already on the upswing. So it's hard to really take credit for that if the number of Black people that were employed was already skyrocketing. So, you know, I'm not sure that you say that he's going to get us on code. I'm not sure that his policies won't hurt us. That's the thing. I think that some of his policies may hurt us. Again, is he doing real prison reform, or is he letting out certain people so that it looks good for his campaign? Because there's still a lot of major changes that need to be made to our criminal justice system that he has not addressed. There's changes to our housing systems that need to be changed that have not been addressed. And if you really pay attention to what he's doing, he's putting people in positions that affect not just Black Americans, all of Americans. He's putting them in charge of these departments, and they have no experience in them. So that tells you how much he's thinking about it. You take someone who's a medical doctor and you put him in charge of housing. How much help is he really going to be toward Black America? That's where I say, are you sure that he's not going to hinder us? So I'm not saying that you should vote for Joe Biden, not by any means. But I'm also saying that we have to be careful to say that Donald Trump's not going to hurt us as well.
Well, I could say that your point, very well taken, brother. I have to say this. We're still alive after 3.5 years. We're still alive.
Well, minus 175,000 people.
Trump did not help us get on code. Where'd the 175,000 go?
COVID.
Can you hear me, bro?
I can. Yeah. COVID.
Okay.
As well as some of these other
But
policies.
see, I don't want to go. I don't want to go back down that rabbit hole.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave that.
I don't
we'll
think
leave that alone.
first of all, I have to keep it G. No. Well, I mean, we can touch it, but I'll keep it G with it.
Sure. No.
Can't blame Trump for that. Okay. I mean, you really can't blame him for that. And first of all, I can't accept the numbers, my brother. I can't accept their numbers. If you told me a gunshot patient dies in there, but they had COVID, you're putting on their death certificate for insurance purposes that they had COVID, and to bump your numbers, brother, we should be more concerned about why they're bumping them numbers up. And our black behind should be really concerned. Let me go deep into it with Trump and this. What's still the deal with Trump? And remind me to just say what's still the deal with the Democrats with me. But let me say still the deal with Trump. Everyone, I think he has handled this. He has been idiotic in the way he has handled this. I cannot defend his character. But even a man who don't speak my language, I can hear something real in him. So that's Trump. He speaks an idiotic language. He does. But the thing is, why are they screwing the numbers? Why are they inflating the numbers? All those people die of COVID. They did not. Somehow this COVID came out during pneumonia and flu season. There's a certain amount, if not a million, going to every year of pneumonia. They were calling pneumonia rates are down all of a sudden. Flu deaths are down. Where did those deaths go? We have no vaccine for either one. And where'd they go? They went to COVID. They're lying. So if you lie about one with me, I got to throw out all your evidence. So I don't believe the numbers. But brother, let me just say this. Why are they pushing them numbers? We better be worried about that. And Trump just seems to be, if by default, interfering with their plans and this vaccine.
Oh, well,
He might have an idiotic therapy, but he's not trying to vaccinate you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say one thing about that because I know we have to move on. But so when you say that he handled it well by getting everyone outside, the way that I equate it, well, you said that he felt you agree with the fact that he told people to get outside. So what I say is I'm going to equate it to, let's just say you have someone that's a police officer, and the chief of police knows that there's a chance that you might get shot. And the chief of police says, you know what? Don't wear a bulletproof vest. You don't need one. You don't need a bulletproof vest. You're fine. The odds you getting shot is 2%. You're fine. And then you get shot in the chest. And then you say, oh, well, that's an acceptable risk. It is what it is. That's kind of the way that he handled this pandemic. He said, don't wear a mask because you don't need one. And then he flip-flop. Okay, wear a mask. Again, I think that sometimes his ideas aren't based in fact. They're based in feeling. They're based in getting reelected, you know. But I know we've been on this one for a while, and I know we're really far behind, and I know we got a Q&A to hit. So we're going to kind of breeze through this. I'm sorry. But thank you for being so honest. I really do appreciate it, even though – okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
I'm going to say, no, I really appreciate you being so honest, even if we may have differences of opinion.
We have a delay, brother, so please work with me.
Not a problem. No, I was saying that you're very – I appreciate you just for being honest on this show, even though we may have a difference of opinion politically. You know, I appreciate you for even coming on here. You know, I know you as a person. I know you to be a good, honorable person. You do a lot to help our community, and I will never, ever take that away from you. So I just really want to thank you for even coming on. You know, we may have differences of opinion with, I think, 90% of the things that you said, but I appreciate you coming on. So I'm gonna pivot quickly. Cool. One of the things that I'm actually going to submit to the audience. Oh, I'm not even going to submit it yet. I'm sorry. Do you think that some people are such ardent Trump supporters because people from the left go so hard at them and call them names or call them, you know, deplorables or racist or idiots or any types of names? Do you feel that that makes people support Trump even more as kind of like a middle finger to them?
Yes, it riles them up.
Okay.
I understand the game Trump is playing. Okay. Let's never forget that. This is a ruthless game. So yes, saying that, but let's say this: when you go back to you say yes, he gave the Black College Fund, whoever he gave him money. He didn't have to do that. Okay, he's playing the game. He didn't have to do that. It was liberal whites that put Trump in there. It wasn't blacks. So when you talk about the liberal whites calling them something, Trump is pandering to his base. I hate that. I dislike his base, and we know who that is. His racist base. Trump said years ago he was in, I think, David Letterman. He would never run for office. He would never run because he's a lifelong Democrat. But David Letterman said, if you did run, which party? He said, I would run Republicans because they're stupid and they one-track minded.
I think
So
that may have been
pimping
debunked.
the best.
I think that I read somewhere that statement may have been debunked. They're saying that he never actually said it.
I saw it. He said it.
You saw the actual video? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He said
Okay.
it. He was a lifelong Democrat. Why would he go Republican?
Okay. All right.
He said so. He knew he could. He knew this. Am I with that? No. I love my people, and I tell you, I came on the show because of you, brother. Your spirit. You know that. I love you. Your spirit is real, and you know I talk to you as if you were a brother from another mother.
Yes.
There are not as many people that have your intellect that I really can, just mirror things with. So he just keeps it real. I understand what he's doing. I love my people, and the other reason why I came on here, I know
You froze again.
going on now, and I didn't know another one of us was murdered.
Mhm.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me? I didn't want to come on here today. I know we're all sad. I just found out. I'm out of the country. I just found out another one's got murdered. I was really hesitant about coming on. I said, I can't talk to my people in times like this. I really can't. Our political views go out the door when one of us are murdered or one of us are hurt. You understand? But I still had to come on because I'm hurting. I know my people are hurting.
Yeah.
We both all are sick. We both here talking about two races and just let me end it with the Democrats here. Let me move. I'm going to Kenya at the end of the year. Okay, God be willing. I'm going to Kenya at the end of the year. What I'm trying to do, I'm in touch with a lot of people over there. I got a host family and everything. They're waiting for my arrival. And what I'm trying to do is build a bridge from America to Africa. Those are my intentions. And I'm going to get to my point with the Democrats while I'm telling you this story. And it's important. The black farmers got hurt bad here. They got real, and you know I love doing charity. They got hurt bad. I'm here for my people. I love my people. I may have different political views, so be it. But I'm first black. I love my people. So I can't agree with it. But I want to build this bridge to the black farmers, all of them, Republican. So I'm reaching out to the Black Farmers Union. I'm reaching out to all over there to Africa where we can't even barely grow an apple. They have us so colonized over there. So I'm building that program. Okay, so that's where my hard work is. I love my people. I love Africa. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. And the problem, I say the final thing with the Democrats, I'll put it to bed, won't say anything else about them.
You froze.
Obama, Clinton, and am I back?
You're back. Yes.
Okay. This is final to end the Democrats in my mind. Just did it. Like I said, Democrats are 70% pushing me towards Trump. Seriously. Their gig is up. Their game is out. I'm tired of their game. Be straight with me. What they did in Africa, Obama, Clinton, and Biden, is deplorable, despicable. Not only did Obama put us as a permanent underclass here, now in America, my God, the white woman and the white man are minorities up on the LBGT. This is a sick world when the white man is a minority, is protected as a minority class in America. That's sick. He did stuff for the immigrants. He did stuff for the Latinos. He did stuff for a lot of people. And we always said he can't. Oh, he did. And you spoke on a lot of things. We were the byproducts and the beneficiaries and a byproduct of a lot of his policies. Obama did nothing directly for foundational Black America, nothing at all. But we are byproducts of the Affordable Act. We're byproducts of a lot of his policy. He did nothing. Oh, he's the president of the people, they like to reply. Well, he did something for the Indians. He did something for the women. He did something for the gays. He did something for the immigrants. Come on, don't give me that. We're the downtrodden here in America, Black foundation of America. Every president has done something for us. But let me just end with this, and you would understand I love Africa. That is the umbilical cord that we all have. That is the soil I want to return to. I don't think people want to throw roses and say, welcome back, brother. Where our ancestors are from, no matter what you believe. I believe my ancestors are from there, and I will go there. And what I want to do with the Black Farmers Union to build that bridge to help farmers over there who don't know how to farm in Africa. What Obama did with Gaddafi is despicable, despicable. So this is your Obama, okay, from Kenya. So he says, this is your Obama, kills this man who was uniting Africa, who was coming up with the United States of Africa. They were coming out with their own currency that would have been backed by all the resources of Africa, all of Africa, okay? That would have been the strongest fiat currency on the planet. What did the Democrats do? Obama and the Democrats, Hillary, she cheered, she killed them. That right there colonized Africa again and shut Africa down. Had he been successful with bringing Africa as the United States of Africa and bringing that dollar, that would have been it. Africa would have been set free on top of the planet. They murdered Muammar Gaddafi because of that. So Obama, I have no use for you. That was Africa. That was Black Africa that was coming up. And had they done that, Africa would have been the most, I mean, we know the resource they are the most powerful continent on the earth. But had they united and came out with that dollar, Africa would have been on top of the world. They could not have that, so they used Obama, and he murdered Gaddafi. That stopped the United States of Africa. So Obama, you put your people, not your people, because you're not foundational Black America, but you put foundational Black America because of your policies and what you did for all these other groups. We're like fourth in line behind all other groups. So he put us in as a permanent underclass. And if we want to escape and go to Africa, as I do, he shut it down there. Africa would have been powerful had he not murdered Gaddafi. Okay, so I have no use for the Democrats. That's the Democrats. They murdered Africa. Okay, they put us as a permanent underclass. Permanent underclass. Like I said, for God's sake, the white man and the white woman are minorities in certain classes. How did we come to that, bro? How did we come to that? So that with the Democrats, I'm done. For Mother Africa, for the United States, Foundation of Black America, we are permanent underclass. Africa is a permanent underclass continent because of Obama's policy and murdering Gaddafi. That was the reason why they murdered Gaddafi. He was coming out with a currency and uniting Africa. They cannot have that. They will never let Africa go. So that's Obama's policies. So I don't know who can defend that, because you can't tell me I hate myself. I love my Black people.
Well, I don't think that there's anyone. Well, I can't say anyone. I know you personally, so I can't say that you hate Black people, because again, I see how much you've done to help the community. You know, over the years, I've seen it. I've seen you volunteering. I've seen you putting your time, your sweat, your money into helping to build these programs in these Black communities. Again, I've seen it, so I can't deny that. But I have one final question. Mm-hmm. Since you say that you're not a fan of the Democrats or the Republicans, if you had to create a perfect candidate, a perfect politician, what policies would they implement to help not just Black America, but America as a whole?
That's difficult to say. I couldn't create one, even in my imagination, not in America. Babylon is falling. That's real talk. So dealing hypothetics, I couldn't create one because the whole system must go.
Okay.
The whole system must go.
Okay.
So I can't create one politician that can make a difference because the whole system must go. The whole system. Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. We have to help each other. I believe you and I, we have to save each other, period. So it's hard for me to create something I don't believe in. I don't believe in their politics, American politics. But if I have in it, I believe we will save ourselves as the Jew, Italian, and Irish did. They came together. The government came. They did not politicians that they wanted. That's how you create it. You put money. I can create anything that would help a system I truly don't believe in. I think the whole system should be destroyed, period. And it should be more with the people. So, brother, we will save ourselves. Stop looking for a leader. Let's save ourselves. Let's stay on code and come together and save ourselves. Open your eyes up to Africa. Stop. My bones are here in America. Get your passport. It's the best thing America has ever given us. Get your passport and see other things. It wasn't until I started traveling the world that I realized who I was and who we are. I learned more about foundational Black Americans being out of the country. So we need to have an option. Maybe get out of America. You know, I know a lot of people can't even fathom that.
Okay. Well,
no, we fought our ancestors.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just gonna say
because
we're running a little low on time. I just wanted to first off say thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you for coming on. Even though you present an alternative view, which I appreciate. I think that your voice needs to be heard, whether or not people agree or disagree. I think that your voice needed to be heard. As you know, I got a lot of backlash for even doing this show. I also got a lot of support for doing this show. I know you did too.
God.
I mean, you know, you had the heart to come on. You wouldn't believe how many people contacted me privately and told me that they were Trump supporters. Believe it or not, a lot of the Black people that contacted me privately, they're super pro-Black. You know, I love my people, super pro-Black. A lot of them contacted me privately and said that they supported Donald Trump. And even though we may not agree on a lot of the views that you have regarding Donald Trump, I think that your voice is important. Part of the reason that I did this show is because I despise the idea of cancel culture. The idea of cancel culture is if I disagree with you, you have to disappear. I think that's wrong, and I don't think that we'll ever get a chance to understand each other if we feel that way. And if we have cancel culture, I feel that you coming out here and you saying what you say or speaking your views is important. So now people can understand you, whether they agree with you or not. They're basing it on you and not some idea of what a Trump supporter is or some idea of how someone that's not a Democrat should be. And I think that's very important. Again, I can't judge. I can't say anything negative about your character. Again, I know you. I'm going to be hopefully coming to visit you on one of your villas soon. keep a room open.
I'm waiting, brother. I'm waiting.
But you know, I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to open it up for a Q&A. Before I do, there's a couple of ground rules, as I stated in the beginning. I have to insist that we have no name calling from either side. We keep it completely respectful. No yelling. I know it's like a kindergarten teacher, but please, no yelling, no name calling. Please be respectful of each other. It's okay to disagree. It's all right. But let's keep it respectful. If any one of these rules are violated, I'm going to have to cut your mics, and I don't want to do that because I really want this to be an open forum. I really want us to learn with each other because, even with some of the things that Jim is saying, we've spoken about this previously, and Jim has actually said to me, and before he said, hey, if I said something and someone can present some alternative facts to me that I may not have known, I'm willing to change my view if someone can give me these alternative facts. And I'm hoping that people that listen are willing to do the same thing.
Yes.
So this is the format that we're going to use, which is a little bit different than normal. We're going to have two formats. You're going to have two ways of submitting a question. You can either submit a question in the chat or you can raise your hand. My preference is that you submit a question in the chat first. That's my preference. We already got one question. All right. You know what? I'll answer Corey's question. We'll allow Corey to ask his question. But after that, we'll go to the questions in the chat. Kyle, I got you. I got you. Trust me, Kyle. I got you. Corey, go ahead. I'll let you ask your questions. Then we'll go to the chat.
Jim, what's going on, brother?
What it do? What it do? How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, JB?
How you doing,
Hey,
good brother?
what's going on, Corey?
Blessings.
I don't really have a question per se. I have more of a comment.
Mhm.
I agree with some of what Jim was saying as far as the system and us being dependent on the system. I feel like it was used as a crutch, and I also felt like the system was never built for us. So, a lot of times people say the system is broken, but how can a system be broken that was never built for us in the first place? I felt like we were never meant to be more than slaves of how they looked at us. So they never really wanted us to be independent of them.
Right.
So I feel like they did put these things in place to make us dependent on them and their views and what they think. But like Jim said, we have to go out there and get it on our own, get it off the muscle. Like there is no waiting for somebody to come help us fight and stand up and do what we do. We have to just go and get it. And I just feel like that's the bottom line of everything that's being said. I don't want what Jim's saying or his views to be misconstrued, but I feel like in the midst of all of what he's saying, that we just have to go do it on our own. We can't wait for anybody else to come do it for us.
I agree. Jim, what do you
Well said,
feel about
brother.
that comment?
Well said. And I mean, Corey, and that's the whole point. You hit it on the head, what I was trying to say. I love my people. I'm tired of being played. I'd rather you come straight, but I also Black American. So I appreciate your views, Corey. Now, I appreciate your support. I know everyone over. I just came here to share a piece of me because I'm hurting. I'm in America. So I'm hurting. My family is hurting. My Black family foundation.
Okay.
All my Black. If you're melanated, say foundational. Use it talk only. Okay, but thanks a lot, Corey. And you're absolutely right, brother. Let's get up and do it ourselves. That's all I'm saying. That's all
Definitely.
I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Corey. One of the questions that Kyle asked is, since you're not necessarily in favor of Donald Trump or Joe Biden, why not vote independent?
Why not vote independent? What are the policies that interest our people? How are the independent policies going to help our people? Why am I waiting? I say this, we know voting independent will do nothing. It's just wasting the vote. You'd be better off just not voting. I'm voting. I didn't say I'm completely voting for Trump. Okay. Pulling that lever is a little different. Okay? Stay home. It would be the same thing is voting for independent. And
Okay.
right, voting for Trump, he has certain things he is doing by default. I believe it's going to help our people by slowing this vaccine down. He seemed to be doing. He's talking about, okay, the bleach was ridiculous, but once again, if you drink it, you should die. If you listen to anything, if you don't wear a vest, you should have got shot. It's up to you to protect yourself. So I'm just saying, if he's got a therapy and it's working, let's go that route. That vaccine, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I think that's very dangerous. And it's setting our people up to be the ones to get it first, because they're saying a lot about all the African-American numbers are up. They're talking a lot about us. So I know that vaccine is coming to us first. And that vaccine is going to be the end. I will never take it. So Trump is interfering with them. Go right ahead.
Got it. All right, Charisse, I know she has a question, but I know Kyle, he has a follow-up to his question. But Charisse, I got you. You're going next. But just one thing about the vaccines, just to kind of chime in. Donald Trump did announce that that he's pushing a vaccine through, and he's also really advocating for hydrochloroquine. So he actually is also pushing vaccines. It's expected, it was announced Monday, for him to announce tomorrow during his speech that America will start trials on a vaccine. I don't know if that got down there to where you are yet, but it's being widely reported that it's expected that he will make that announcement during his speech tomorrow.
Okay, with the what was the name of it? I can't even think. I'm
Hydrochloroquine.
a little tired right now.
The hydrochloroquine.
Hydro. Okay, is that part of the
I'm sorry?
vaccine? Hydrochloroquine is part of the therapy. That has been the hydro. Am I correct? Now let me back off of that.
Okay.
I don't think Trump is going to save us. If he's buying us time, if he's the 8 of the top 10 vaccine companies that are at the head to come out with a vaccine first, 8 of them are funded by Bill Gates. He has murdered people around the planet with vaccines. And we're going to trust Bill Gates to give us a vaccine? Nah, I would rather go with Trump's anything. So I can't defend Trump with a vaccine either. Like I said, I'm 30% with Trump because of some of his views. As a human being, I cannot defend that man. I do not condone that man as a human being, nor Biden. So please, people, understand it's just certain things. If we're choosing between the lesser devil, I'm going with Trump. And that is sickening that we're here. They're choosing between two devils. Sorry.
And that's all right. It's ironic because we're talking about vaccines and health, and the person, Kyle, he actually just did my show. He talked about vaccines, health, and diet. So it's ironic that it would go to him. So, Kyle, what's your follow-up question? Kyle? You have your mic on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kyle.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Thanks, JB. Thanks, Jim, for joining the show in a semi-hostile environment, although everyone's being cordial like we are expected to be. But just a couple things. I wanted to say that with regard to casting a vote for independence, it's not a wasted vote, because what you can end up doing is actually becoming a crown maker, which can push the Black agenda. So you were asking about some of the policies. I would urge you to go to Howie Hawkins. The Hawkins-Walker ticket under the Green Party has absolute benefits to the Black community, as well as poor people overall, which we do tend to fall in that demographic. The other thing I wanted to challenge on was Trump with hydroxychloroquine. Trump has stock in that, which is why he has always been pushing that. It is basically a malaria, it's an antidote, a vaccine for malaria. It's a medication for malaria. Its efficacy has not been vetted through the mutations of this coronavirus. So I just know that from being in the healthcare industry. I do agree with you with Bill Gates. I agree with you on being more than hesitant.
Right.
Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago when we did the show, I said, don't take the regular flu shot, let alone this rush to push corona out. But make no mistake, that's Trump who's rushing that. He wants the vaccine to come in. He wants to wear a red cape and come in with a vaccine in time for the vote. He's the one who's pushing this. He's the one who changed the Center for Disease Control. They have to send their numbers to him now because we've been seeing the numbers grow. And I heard what you were saying about its speculation in terms of, you know, are the numbers being faked? What I can speak to is I absolutely know people who have died or have contracted COVID. They've gone through the respiratory ailments. I've heard them. Some have recovered, some have not. So all these numbers are not fake. Like everyone is kind of spreading something, which my last point is when you were saying how Trump handled this, he handled it horribly. China had a 9-week model. They got their numbers under control. We didn't do that. Trump was saying it'll go away like a miracle. It'll be some kind of miracle. It'll just go away. That didn't happen. You know, it got worse. Korea never did a shutdown. They did rapid test tracing and found it at the source, had people quarantined, and they got their numbers under control. New Zealand has their numbers under control. Per capita, America is leading us. This is a huge mess. This is his crisis. This is his financial crisis. This is his Katrina that he's not meeting the challenge because he puts a lot of other billionaires in his cabinet, most of whom end up pleading guilty, and then he pardons them. And they're not experts in what's in the field we need them to be experts in. So I could go on, I'll pause. But again, I appreciate the conversation. I like the conversation. It's needed. We need to, I agree with you on cancel culture, JB.
Right.
But we need to be as close to factual as we can and then have open minds. Thanks.
Thanks, KC. Thanks, Kyle. For those that haven't seen, please watch Kyle's episode from last week. You can find it on YouTube, Fall to Rise. YouTube channel, Kyle's episode was amazing on health and nutrition. That's a free plug.
Thank you, JB.
Yes. Jim, do you have a response?
And you were very diplomatic about it. And I tell you, you didn't take blatant shots at me, but it's cool. Now, you're a gentleman. I appreciate it, and I understand all you said. And I did watch your show, and you're sharp. You're sharp. And thank you. Thank you, brother, for your response.
Thank you, Jim.
You said a lot. When it comes to, thank you, brother. Like I said, Cal, always first. I'm for my people. I know if y'all thought y'all were gonna see Buck eyes on here or shoes pads. I have any of those. I'm not a Buckeye, I'm not Buck broken. I am real. I'm hardcore from the street. All right. I mean, I did my life, I hate it, but I'm hardcore, so I don't tap dance. I do respect Bill, but you said a lot. And independent, I check out that, but I don't think that's going to help people at all. First chance of winning, the game is rigged. They have no chance. But I just depend on my people to save us. For us. I don't go to third party.
You're breaking up.
I really don't believe Okay, let me know when I'm back.
Okay.
Am I back?
You're back. Yes.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't study much. I've been out of the country just for a short time. So I really don't watch TV or news. I don't want to deal with it. You know, I'm in paradise. That's where my mind is, in paradise. But my heart is heavy for my people. So I came on here and had to go. I'm willing to take the shots. But going with third party, we know they're not going to win. It's good for inspirational vote. Yeah, I'm not into that. Like I said, I'm not positive. I'm pulling the lever for Trump. I am struggling because I'm pulling a level between between two races, between two devils. It is hard to do that. It is hard. But I had to come on and say why I would support in years has played us, and played us close. Okay, they got every policy they wanted passed. They got so. I'm just hurting for my people, brother. Kyle, thank you so much for that. And I don't know facts, but I say because Bill Gates put a couple dollars behind CDC and the World Health Organization. That's a problem. Bill Gates is a problem, his name. And please don't get me on Fauci, our scientist. Trump has handled him very well. He's a disgusting human being to the black race. That's who Fauci and his company is to put AIDS out there in Africa. Study that. He's into eugenics. That's Fauci. And we're listening to that man.
Here's a couple of things.
Listening to that man.
No, it's not just one man. There is a medical community.
So we better wake up and start seeing.
With you two guys, it's a lag between the two because we're in two different countries.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a lag.
Yeah, it's not just listening to one person. I
apologize, Kyle. Go right ahead.
No problem. It's not just one person. Fauci's no angel. Like most people in politics are no angel. But we do know that wearing a mask contains how far the virus can travel. Washing your hands with soap and water destroys the integrity of the walls of the virus. That's what the lipids in soap does. And then social distancing, because if you do happen to have a spray of saliva or something while you're talking, it's not going to travel 6 feet. It was a long time to get the current resident of the White House to even be able to say any of that. In fact, it was a polar opposite. So when you say, I feel you on the Democrats. It's been a lot of taken for granted. I will again say that a big enough number with independents would have both big players vying for attention. Because if enough independents voted independent, again, you'd be a crown maker. And if you're not having our agenda within the overall national agenda, then we're going to go for the other person. But right now, the Republican parties are not like the lesser two evils. I'm not getting that. There are Democratic policies that have gotten through that are a benefit. There are Republican benefits that haven't. They want to end unemployment right now because McConnell was saying, we don't want people on unemployment making more than they did on their jobs. If unemployment's paying you more than your job, that's a whole nother discussion we need to have. Because these few little dollars of unemployment, I don't know how people feed a family. So I don't understand the policy choice when you're saying, the Democrats, I get that, a lot of dirt, even going back to 2016, Bernie Sanders should have been the candidate. There's a lot of dirt. But there's one party that can be governed a little bit better than the other party who is overtly saying things and doing things that aren't in favor of Black folks, brown folks, any other than rich folks. So I don't get that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kyle, you got it, brother. And I completely understand and appreciate everything you said. And I don't even know. I'm not going to be long-winded on this, but first off, Fauci, there's no saying, well, he did that, but he's okay. No, I can't forgive that. I can't listen to anything out of a scientist, a despicable human being's mouth that took AIDS to my people in Africa. That's factual. His company did that. So I can't listen to anything he says. And with the numbers, once again, brother, if you lie about one, someone died of a gunshot and you're saying he died of COVID because he had COVID at the time he died of gunshot, they play with words because when he died, he died. Not that he died from COVID. He had COVID when he died. They play with words. So I just can't. So, I don't trust anyone unless we put him or um, female or male, unless we put with our money, our energy, our being on code. If we did not put them there, I cannot support independent Republicans or Democrats. I don't trust them with us. I trust us. I trust us. So, like I said, I'm here because we are choosing from the lesser of the two evils. And that's sick. That is sick. Once again, it is sick. I am sick for doing this. We all have been damaged. This is why I'm out of the country. I heal when I'm out of the country. I will heal when I go to Africa. And been built when we left Africa. I guess our ancestors, we knew Africa building pyramids. They can't even build a road over there. They can't farm. That's ridiculous. So I'm just trying to take that umbilical cord or that bridge and take us from here to there. So get a chance, let's get out, because the whole system, unless the whole system is destroyed, I cannot buy into it. I really can't. So I throw the whole system away, start over again. The whole system, all parties, throw it away. And like I said, when the Republicans were in office, it goes back to post-slavery. When they were in office, we did better as a people.
Jim?
When
Jim?
it was segregation, we did better as a
Jim?
people. Yes.
Hello, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off, but we're actually running past the usual time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we're actually running past the usual time for the show. So we normally end at 10. So I know that Charisse had a question. I really want to get to her because she has been very patiently waiting. And I know that a lot of other people have questions.
Okay.
We may have to do a part 2 to this. I mean, for the people that are on here, if we did a part 2.
Let them come at me. Let them chat. Absolutely.
Well, I don't think it'll be them taking shots. I think it's more that they have questions or differences of opinion. But again, they're on here. They have the same questions that, for the same reason that you are, so that we can better understand each other and so that we can learn from each other. So I'm going to pose two questions in the chat. Mm-hmm. And Charisse, we're going to get to your question. And you can respond to this in the chat. First question for everyone here. If we have a part 2 with a Q&A so that we can get the rest of your questions, would you be willing to come back on to get your questions? That's the first question. The second one goes back to a question that I asked Jim earlier. Is there any policy that Donald Trump can put forward that would make you vote for him? So those 2 questions you can put in chat. So Charisse, we're going to get to your question last. Again, for everyone else, I promise you I will get back to you. But Charisse, go ahead.
Thank you so much. First of all, I for some reason I couldn't type anymore. It wouldn't allow me to type, so that's why I was raising my hand.
Sure.
But I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for the invitation. Jimmy is a friend of mine, and we have always had nothing but mutual respect for one another. But this is where I have to draw the line in the sand. But we've always been honest and agreed to disagree with one another and have great conversations. I wish I would have been taking notes. I wasn't, but I'll just kind of off the cuff and hopefully maybe we'll have part 2. But one thing you stressed, Jimmy, was that Donald Trump he's so upfront and so honest with, who he is. He's not upfront. He denies everything. He lies about everything. I can respect what you said about, if a person is a racist and they say, hey, I don't like Black people, and you're like, cool, well, I don't like white people either, so there you go. That's not who Donald Trump is. He's the guy who's saying there are very fine people on both sides. There are very bad people on both sides. That's what he's saying. He's the person that utilizes Black people for photo op. That's what he does. If it's going to benefit him, if it's going to move him forward in his cause, that's what he believes in. That's what he utilizes us for. I don't believe he cares about Black people. I definitely don't believe he cares about the coal miners and all the poor whites that he, was able to obtain their votes. Donald Trump he cares about Donald Trump. That's it. That's it. That's all. So I really, I'm open-minded, and I was really listening for something that you could share with me, not a tit for tat like Candace Owens does when you ask her a question and she plays it back to you. I was really disappointed in you about that part, but we'll talk about that later. But truly, truly, it's like, what has he done? What did he run off of when he was campaigning regarding the wall? You know, what was his promise? He's not held up to a lot of things. The reason I think we hear more about prison reform and things like that is because of Kim Kardashian, oddly enough. She seems like she's done more to push prison reform than President Trump has, in my opinion. So I'm just searching and grasping for you to give me one solid thing that he has done for Black people, and in terms of what he's given to the the HBCUs. Other presidents have done that. In terms of saying how Joe Biden is a racist and Trump is a racist as well, what president have you known? What sitting president in your lifetime and in my lifetime could you possibly say, nah, he wasn't a racist? I mean, they probably all have been. And I think the reason that Trump got a lot of people's votes was because people were so upset, visibly moved and visibly upset and sick to their stomachs that we had a Black president. Whether he did what you thought he should do or not, people couldn't acknowledge that. They couldn't, and Trump has this personal vendetta for Trump, the whole birther movement. Why? He knew it was BS when he said it, but he's like an annoying gnat. And it just really blows my mind because, like I said, I have much mad respect for you. We have intelligent conversations. We do. I'm searching. I can't find anything. So we may have to continue this offline. I don't know, but that's just what I wanted to say. And I'll take some notes for the second half of this. Thank you for letting me speak too, James.
Thank you for coming on.
Call it how
My
I see it.
sister Charisse, I love you, baby.
Love you back.
I love you, baby. We go at it too.
Oh yeah.
We go at it, but we're on that intellectual level. That's
sure.
why I told a lot of people, they came at me when we're having dialogue about this. You understand? And I always say this: we have to learn to have. If there's two parties that's running, the Democrats have pimped us. Trump has pimped the poor whites. He didn't give them nothing, just like Obama pimped us, didn't give us nothing. So Obama did nothing, Trump did nothing. Yes, the HBCUs, that's important. Trump could have threw that off his desk. He just won the election. He didn't win because of us. He don't need us. He won because of liberal whites in the closet.
And
you understand?
Whites.
So yeah, of course. So he pimped them. So with Trump is more, the man, I could say somewhere in there is despicable. Seriously, I can say this. He is. A lot of this stuff he's despicable. So I cannot go on his character. He's a racist. So I'm just saying, please understand. I guess I respect the game more than the player. Really.
Okay.
He's playing his game. I understand Obama played his game. He played his game. But if all I said after what the Democrats did, okay, Trump, he's not for us. Plus Trump is president. The energy that's in us as Black people, we are getting in on code. I love that. He had no intention. He did not do that. His presence is putting us on code. I love that. The Democrats, what do they give us? They did not support King when he started talking about giving monies, a stipend annually to the black and poor. They told King, stop talking about that. They backed off of King. So as long as we're not talking about becoming economically independent of them, they cool. We'll give you programs. They cool. It's about money. We're in a capitalist country, okay? And Obama making us a permanent underclass, that's not cool. That's cool with you? He made us a permanent underclass. We got the LBGTs, the Latino, the immigrants. Everybody got something, and we are behind. They are minorities with us. The white man or white woman are minorities. Obama did that. The Democrats
How are they
did
minorities?
that. And what he did, the last thing, Charisse, they're minorities
Yes.
because if they choose or if they are associated with LBGT, they are a protected minority class, LBGT. That's how they are minorities. So how sick is this? Just saying, I love us, but we are sick. So I had to come on here.
But you know, another thing that you talked about as far as when you
I
were
know it's
talking,
controversial.
when you were talking about the segregation and things like that. Well, it wasn't segregation, you know, when we needed to be integrated into whether it be schools or the workforce or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, think about it. They've never wanted us to have an education. They didn't want us to learn how to read and write from slavery times, okay? Our school system, you know, we didn't get the same type of programs that were afforded to private schools or schools in a better area. So they came up with this concept that we're going to, you know, allow the Black kids to interact with the white kids, even though it was met with a lot of resistance. However, and I was one of those kids that had to be bused. But at the same time, it did afford me certain experiences that I may not have. Well, I would have had them because of who my parents were, but I know a lot of kids from the hood who may not have had those experiences and outside of their neighborhood, you know, to know that you can interact in certain spaces. You do belong in those certain spaces. With that came some better education. With better education, you can elevate yourself financially. So,
all right. One thing, I gotta kind of cut it now because it's almost 10:15. Okay. Jim, would you be available to come back next week? I know it's kind of short notice. If you can't, no problem. We'll put you back on another week.
My brother, for you, absolutely. Absolutely, with pleasure.
I appreciate it. I mean, you've been an amazing guest. I know it's not easy. I know it's not. But I appreciate you coming on. For those, I posted the information. I posted information in the chat. So for those of you that are new to the show, we're on episode 10. So all of the previous episodes are on our YouTube channel, Fall to Rise Podcast. Is actually in the chat. We finally got our Instagram launched. I'm still trying to figure Instagram out. I know I'm a millennial that doesn't know Instagram, but Fall to Rise Pod on Instagram, Fall to Rise Podcast on Facebook. You know, we can continue the conversation on there. You know, you come back next week, bring some more people. We'll have some more information. You know, again, I really appreciate you coming on, Jim. You have no idea how much I appreciate you coming on. You know, because this is a conversation that we needed to have, and that's really what we do with this show. We hit those taboo topics. We talk about those things that we're having privately in our communities, but we're usually having those conversations with people that are just like us and that think like us. I'm kind of ripping the covers off. So now we're discussing these things with people that have these alternative views. And I think it's healthy. It's really, really healthy because we don't have to assume about each other anymore. We can take the time to try to understand each other. Whether we agree or not, we can take that time to understand. So that's the goal for every episode. I'm hoping that we accomplish that tonight. We're going to have a part 2 for the first time, which I had a feeling that this would be a pretty big episode. If you want to share this episode with any of your friends, This episode will be on YouTube tomorrow morning. It may be on tonight. See how fast I can do it. But if you want to share this episode, please feel free to share it. And a quick plug, I'm also on another podcast called Extreme Truth. You can go to the Extreme Truth Instagram page. It's actually Extreme is spelled XTREME. We cover a few more, I guess you can say, eccentric topics on that one. But that one's a little bit more extreme than this one. And then we got my brother Joe, Joseph Hogue. He runs He Said, She Said, which is a Christian relationship ministry. And he has an event coming up. Joe, is it Friday or Saturday?
It's on Friday. It's called Crucial Conversations. It's all the questions that the opposite sex wants to know about each other. My girlfriend Courtney and I, we will be on Zoom answering all your questions. And then we also have another event on September the 19th from 10 to 12 noon. The title of that one is Am I Out of My League? So we're going to answer that question from a biblical perspective. So if you're interested, James, you can definitely give him my information and get connected with our community. Well,
for those that have picked on my social media, I'm going to share it on there. So Joe, is there an Instagram that people can get you at quickly?
Yes, at He Said, She Said 704 is the Instagram page. You can just follow that and you'll be able to see all of our latest updates and information for our events.
Got it. All right. Does anyone else have any shows that they need to plug before we get out of here? Again, we want to make it into a community. So does anyone have anything else, any other shows?
How do we follow your YouTube?
Mine, for mine?
Yes.
It's on Fall to Rise podcast.
Okay.
If you look in the chat, it should be in there. I believe that everyone can see it. Just making sure. Yeah. Are you able to see it in the chat?
I don't see it, but I'll keep looking.
Yeah, it should be. It should say Fall to Rise podcast.
I see.
Is anyone else able to see it? The YouTube.
I see it.
You see it? Okay. Yeah, you can go check our old episodes, and we covered some taboo topics. You think this was taboo? We covered mental health in the Black community. We covered abstinence. We covered daddy issues and how they affect men. And we had it from the perspective of someone that's affected by daddy issues and someone else whose children have daddy issues because of him. We had a psychologist on there to break that down. We covered financial planning. We've covered navigating the criminal justice system, surviving the criminal justice system. We've done an episode about nutrition and health. And there's one that I haven't posted yet that's a little controversial. It's called Am I Black Enough? What it means to be Black in Black America. And that one was actually a response to the statement that Joe Biden made where he said, if you vote for Donald Trump, you ain't Black. And I took that to say, what does it really mean to be Black? Mm-hmm. That's a conversation that I don't think we've solved ourselves in the Black community. So I brought Black people from different perspectives, and we discussed our views on what it means to be Black. So please feel free, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to it. If you wanted to email me, you can contact me at any one of my social media sites, or you can email me at falltorisepod@gmail.com. I'm always open to suggestions for shows. We have a lot of things coming up. We have shows on homelessness. We have a show coming up about surviving the loss of a spouse, surviving the loss of a parent. And I have an episode coming up that's going to be difficult, surviving the loss of a child. A friend of mine, his 7-year-old son was murdered. So we're going to talk about that. So we have a lot of big things coming up. As always, if you have any suggestions, questions, comments, please feel free to contact me. I'm open. I'll always get back to you. And thank you, everyone. I know I'm kind of rambling right now, but thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Jim, I owe you. I'm telling you, when I come down to your house, man, I'll bring you back I'll bring you something from up here. When I come down to your house to visit, I don't know, I'll bring you something nice. Thank you, Jim.
Hey, brother, just bring yourself, brother.
Thank you, Jim.
Bring yourself. That's all I need, brother. And just let me thank you, brother. Let me please thank you. It's my pleasure. I had to do it because of you. I didn't have to tell my point to anyone because of doing, brother. You're doing something very powerful. We are talking about taboo issues because of you that we wouldn't normally talk about. So anything I can do, brother, to bring anything to what you're doing that is so powerful, I will be here anytime, my brother. Anytime. I thank you for having me on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And for everyone else, like I said, we'll continue this next week. We'll have part 2 contact me on social media. Reach out to me, reach out to my other guest, and thank you and good night.
All right.
Good night, all.
Hey.